In this video, we will be discussing about the Gupta age. Why Gupta age is known as the golden age in Indian cultural history. The term golden age in a country's history usually describes a period of political peace and stability, economic prosperity, and cultural growth in spheres such as literature, philosophy, art, architecture, music, and scientific thought. So the Gupta period saw many remarkable achievements due to which it is referred as the golden age of Indian history. Now, one by one, we will see what are the main points why it is called the golden age in India's cultural history. First one, freed the country from the Shaka Menans and ensured peace. Mainly the Guptas freed the country from the Shaka Menans and ensured peace. That was the reason considering as the golden age. Then they developed trade. Both land trade and sea trade got a good development during this Gupta age. The merchants of this period carried on sea trade with Southeast Asia, China and West Asia, and internal trade along a good network of roads. And this is evident from the large number of gold coins and growth of many cities in this period. We got the information about the trade from the pictures depicted on the gold coins and the history of so many popular cities during that period. Developments in the field of literature, renowned Sanskrit plays and Dharma Shastras. Kalidasa was a renowned Sanskrit playwright and poem writer at that time. And so many Sanskrit plays and poems were written during the Gupta period. The epics and the Dharma Shastras were also compiled during this period. So some of the greatest works of Sanskrit literature were composed during the Gupta period. The Gupta rulers were themselves great scholars and patrons of learning. The greatest gem of Chandragupta Vikramaditya's court was Kalidasa. He produced famous works like Meghaduta, Kumarasambhava and Abhijnana Shakuntala. And another renowned scholar or a writer or who has given a lot of contributions in the field of literature during Gupta age was Shudraga. And he has written Mrich Kadiga and Vishagadatta was another one. And he has written Mudra Rakshasa. Now, maybe you heard the Panchatantra stories, a collection of delightful fables. This was also written during this period. And Dharma Shastras, it is considered as the Hindu social and religious rules. These also were compiled during this period. Even the epics. At that time, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, which had so far been passed on orally, but during Gupta age, they got a written form. Next, spectacular contributions in the field of art and architecture. So the Gupta rulers patronized sculpture, architecture and painting, and the Saranath school of art excelled in sculpture at that time. The temples of Gupta period became models for future North Indian temples. A temple usually had a small central room called Garbhagriha. This was also this Garbhagriha, that means where the deity is placed. So it was very much famous at that time. And the other features were carved pillars supporting a low roof. And sometimes a tired spire also. The most famous temples of the Gupta period are the temples at Diogar, Sanchi and Bitagan. Now the most important or beautiful paintings or sculptures that has seen in Ajanta caves also was done in the Gupta period. These cave temples at Ajanta, it is near Aurangabad, were built during this period. There are beautiful mural paintings. Murals are paintings done on walls. There are beautiful mural paintings in the Ajanta caves that depicts the scenes from the life of Buddha. So in view of the invaluable contributions made by the Guptas to our cultural heritage, it is said that the Gupta period was the golden age in our cultural history. More points are there, we'll see. Now the contributions in the religious aspects, mainly concept of avatars, mural paintings of gods, goddesses in Ajanta caves. So the foundations of Hindu temple architecture that I told you, and the widespread worship of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, and the concept of avatars began during this time. So avatars means incarnation. At that time people believed that Lord Vishnu take avatars or incarnation. It was believed that wherever there is disorder in society, Vishnu appears in an animal or a human form to restore order. And they considered as there are few incarnations made by Lord Vishnu. First one is Matsya, second one Kurma, then Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parashurama, Rama, Krishna. Even Sri Buddha is considered as one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu. And the last one is Kalki. So they have given a remarkable contributions in the field of religion also. Then remarkable achievements in the field of science, mainly the science of Ayurveda, then Aryabhata's concept of zero and the iron pillar. So the Gupta period witnessed a remarkable growth of scientific knowledge. Aryabhata, he was a famous mathematician and astronomer, put forward the theory that the earth rotates on its own axis and revolves around the sun. He understood the concept of zero and the decimal system also. So these all contributions was done during the Gupta age. Another mathematician and astronomer, Varaha Mihra, wrote the Brihad Samhita. It is an encyclopedia of all branches of knowledge. In medicine, the science of Ayurveda reached new heights. Thank you.